Hey friend, Micah McCurry here. Thank you so much for joining me once again for Bible Tract Echoes. I originally read one of my favorite quotes in a book about physical fitness many years ago. Now, I should do more in the realm of physical fitness. Actually, this specific book, it was about training for a triathlon. Apparently, I read it and didn't apply most of it because I haven't done a triathlon yet. But there is this quote. I enjoy quotes. This quote grabbed my attention. It's this: "You can't shoot a cannon out of a canoe." Now, what does that mean? There's probably a dozen ways to apply this idea, but to me, it's about foundation. You see, without stability and a firm footing, no amount of force will help you reach your goals. And that's precisely why we have taken the time to define, and this week we're going to take a little time and share the core values that guide Bible Tracts Incorporated. But you may be asking, why am I talking about this? Well, I believe it so strongly that I'm spending a week of this radio broadcast. You realize that's, in the grand scheme of things, it's maybe just a blip. But really, here in the nitty-gritty, it's an important and valuable resource. These 15 minutes a day, you're spending time listening right now, and I appreciate that. Your time is not, in the grand scheme of eternity, it's not limitless. And you're spending some listening right now, and so I do believe this is important. You see, core values are not fluff. They're not just slogans we print and put up on banners and forget. These values that I'll be speaking about, they are the bedrock of who we are. They shape our thinking, drive our decisions, and affect everything, from how we design our tracts to how we answer our emails. They're not just words, they're an attitude, a mindset, a culture. Jesus talked about the foolish man who built on sand in Matthew chapter 7. And we don't want to be foolish. So if we're talking about a foundation, then of course the Bible will always be our final foundation. And we want to be built on the rock. The Lord has led us to apply these biblical principles to our work at BTI. And we have distilled some of these vital Bible tenets into 5 core values. And this week, I'll take you inside the framework that helps our team stay anchored while at the same time moving forward. My prayer is this: that you'll listen, that you'll hear what I'm endeavoring to communicate, and maybe there'll be some things you can apply to your life, but maybe it'll help you pray for us in a greater way as you get to know my heart, get to know our heart, and pray over what God is doing at BTI. And maybe you'd like to ask him what part he would have you to play in the future of this ministry. We look back at the 80-plus year history, but we also look at the future. And your thoughts, your feedback, and your prayers mean more than you can know. Our driving force, our desire has been the Word of God to all the world. And this is not just our work, it belongs to all of us. So, listen, if you would, as I speak about these core values. I'm going to list all 5 for you. Then I'm going to talk about a very special event coming up in just a moment. But I want to list these 5 so you can roll over in your mind. I think we're only going to have time maybe to talk about one today. But I don't know if I would call this the order of priority, but it's close. Here are the 5 core values that we work to hold to. Number 1, legacy. Next, quality. 3rd, flexibility. 4th, multiplicity. And lastly, intensity. Think about that while I tell you about our open house. October 4th of this year, we are looking forward to a great opportunity to invite you to our building here in Odell, Illinois. I'm excited about what God has done already through this building we've been in for about 3 years or so. God has done amazing things, and we're excited to see what he continues to do. But I'd encourage you to come be with us October 4th on our website. You can find more information, BibleTractsInc.org, BibleTractsInc.org, and I'd encourage you to register there. There's probably a pop-up thing, and there's a banner at the top tells you all about what's going on. I'd encourage you, BibleTractsInc.org. We're going to have a wonderful time, so please consider joining with us on that day. If you'd like more information, you can text me directly. If you have specific questions, text me at 309-316-7240. Again, that's 309-316-7240. Now let's talk about the first of our core values, and it may well be the most important one, legacy. You could say it all starts with Paul Levine, but at the end of the day, it's really God who it's all about. And as I prayed about which of our 5 core values to highlight first, it's not an easy decision. Each one is crucial to the culture of BTI and our team here, but I felt it appropriate to begin with a look back, because legacy matters. It reminds us that we are not the first to labor in this field. And Lord willing, we will not be the last. We stand on the shoulders of giants, but we know who placed those giants there in the first place. The psalmist said, "The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad." That's Psalm 126, verse 3. Our commitment to legacy is not rooted in nostalgia. It's rooted in faithfulness. We remember the past, not to dwell in it, but to build upon it. Honoring our heritage keeps us grounded and propels us forward with a vision for the future and gratitude for those who came before. Our ministry, yes, is preparing to honor the life and legacy of Paul Levine at our upcoming open house on October 4th, but this event is not just an opportunity for us to get together and look back at the good old days. No, it's a celebration of what God has done through a man who said yes to God again and again and again. Paul Levine was a man of prayer, passion, purpose. He gave his life to the cause of Christ, and the ripple effects of his obedience are still being felt worldwide. Paul Levine laid down we'll say a gospel-saturated foundation. There's that word again, foundation, for BTI. Through 6+ decades, he lived a lifetime as a traveling evangelist. Tens of thousands have come to Christ because of tracts he wrote, and over 620 million gospel tracts have been shipped worldwide because of the ministry God allowed him to start. He was a kind man, humble in spirit, and unwavering in his dedication to see souls saved. I've said this before, I don't have a shrine to Paul Levine in my home, and we're not here to place a man on a pedestal, but we do believe in giving honor to whom honor is due, as Romans 13:7 tells us. And we can't tell the story of BTI without thanking God for the life of Paul Levine. We also realize that there are so many other names we could mention here as part of the legacy of BTI. I will not even attempt to mention even just the names that are burbling around in my brain right now, because I know my memory will betray me and I'll leave someone important out. Unfortunately, only God could truly give us an exhaustive list of all who have made BTI what it is today. But what a blessing to know. One day, in heaven, we will meet all those who have gone before. As I'm speaking to you, I'm looking at pictures of this dear man, some from his younger years, smooth skin, but even as the wrinkles began to grow, as I look at these middle-aged and pictures of him as he was in his 70s and close to the last days of his life, the smile never changed. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen a picture of Paul Levine when he wasn't smiling. And that makes me think of how precious our legacy. There's that word, one of our core values, legacy. I hope you see how and understand how precious our legacy is to us, not because we revere Paul Levine, but because we revere the God that he served. God has done marvelous works for us, with us, through us. And the reason I believe we can be so very confident in the future, can I map out and tell you precisely what God is going to do even tomorrow or the next day, next month, next year? Absolutely not. I'd be a fool to even think so. The Lord could surprise us all, and he could return before you hear the next installment. And I talk about the next core value here on BTE. But as we look at the past and we think about our legacy, it gives me and our team here at BTI great confidence as we walk into the future. I don't believe God is done with the ministry of Bible Tracts Incorporated yet. I'd encourage you to partner with us. When you do so, you are coming alongside, you're getting in the yoke with a ministry that has been around for over 80 years, and we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Somehow, by God's grace, not because of me, and I'm thankful for my predecessor, Pastor Mark Smith. He would not claim the successes of BTI. He, like I, will point to the God that we serve, but we also are thankful for the men and the man, the founder that God used, Paul Levine. He passed away, Paul Levine did, in 1996. What a blessing to know that the ministry that God allowed him to start is approaching its 30th year without him. It's not a joy to know that he's gone, but it's a joy to know that a ministry that God allowed him to start persists and continues, because I believe we hold our legacy dear. I want to thank you so much for tuning in once again this week. I'd encourage you to continue, because we're going to talk about another core value or two tomorrow, and I want you to be there for it. Thank you so much for your listenership. My prayer, as always, is simply this: that you have a great day for His glory, and we will plan on talking to you very soon. God bless.
Thank you for tuning in to Bible Tract Echoes, the radio ministry of Bible Tracts Incorporated. Want to see our gospel tracts and other resources? Visit us online at BibleTractsInc.org. That's BibleTractsInc.org. Or follow us on social media to learn how you can partner with this ministry. Thanks again for listening. May the Lord richly bless you as you live for Him.